participants of this tall cross pool. Well, Marin Mogic had a very, very good heat swim, got himself right in there in lane 3. Romanchuk is the fastest. But if we look at their qualifying times, 7:49, 7:50, 7:51, and 2:7:53, 7:52. So it's really only about 3 seconds separating about 5 or 6 swimmers here. So we could, in effect, have a sprint for the last 100, as we often do in the longer distance events.
We could and expect the best of these guys to be way below 7:50, closer to the 7:40 barrier.
Your qualifying times. Paltrinieri has the championship record set in London when he won it 2 years ago. That time he was pursued by fellow Italian Detti, and Romanchuk finished 3rd in London.
Keep an eye on this guy, Florian Valbrug, swimming on the outside lane. He is the champion of the 1500 meters.
Ridiculous thing, actually. I just realised that only 4 seconds separate the whole field. For Italy, will go in 7, and we know what kind of a week they've had, so wouldn't back against him getting into the top 3. On the Damien Joly either in 2. Jan Mika finished 4th 2 years ago, so just outside the medals. Love to make amends for that this time if he could. Very impressive display by Mogic, 7:51.78, the best time he's done this year. First time he's been under 8 minutes this year as well.
He was a bronze medalist at the European Juniors this year, and here's a senior, a well-established man, Gregorio Paltrinieri, 2-time defending champion. Mikhailo Romanchuk.
Now, did he celebrate his birthday last night? That's the question.
I don't think so. He wants to celebrate today.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow night. It's all over. Put those candles back on the cake for a couple of days. Because we've got a more important thing to think about. That's winning this race. Making it 2 wins. Some are already ready to go. The more established ones are just taking their time, saying, okay, boys, you go and stand on the blocks and have a look around. But we're ready to take our time and just... when we're ready, we'll come forward. And here they come forward. Romanchuk of Ukraine in 4. Paltrinieri in 5. Well, I tell you what, looking around, good crowd. Good crowd, yeah. Nice and noisy too. Last night, I think we got the noisy crowd back in it tonight. We do need to be quiet so we can get the starter and the whistle, and the referee all in synchronicity. Not they can hear me, but still. 800 freestyle for men, second longest of the pool events for the males, and there are 4 seconds separating all 8 swimmers from the heat time. So anyone, obviously, by virtue of that, could be in the mix. We're going to see how they're going to swim this, and it looks like Velbrock's gone out very quickly in lane number 1, trying to set the pace over the first 50.
Expect this time to be more than 4 seconds separating the 8 guys. Damien Joly actually had a brilliant start with a reaction time of 0.6.
This is a race where the reaction time really doesn't matter, does
count. Okay, so Velbrock, I think he has to swim his own race. Paltrinieri also not concentrating on Romanchuk. And down here in lane 8, that's Henrik Christiansen, usually with amazing backhand speed over the final 50 meters. So he has to be in contention for a medal if he keeps this pace.
European record belongs to the Italian who's not here. Set at the World Championships in Budapest last year, Gabriele Detti. So 14.77, and Zhang of China. Well, we won't to even think about that any longer, because that world record is not going to be in sight today. 7:32.12, but the championship record, maybe they could give that a go. At the moment, they're about a second outside European record pace. I say they, Christiansen leading from the outside lane, with Paltrinieri moving up to second place, and Velbrock up in third.
This is a tactical race. All of the 8 swimmers has a tactics on his mind. However, of course, things change, and you have to adapt, and I think Mikhailo Romanchuk is the best in adapting.
Christiansen leads still, Paltrinieri still in second place. Third now is Romanchuk, just going above and in front of Velbrock, but there's very little to choose between the front 4 at the moment, and we'll see whether we dropped any bit. Nearest to being dropped will look to be Azarenza in 7, but still early stages. We're coming up to the 250 meters mark when they get to the far end of the forefront right now. Christensen's still going to be leading when they turn. He is from the Italian, that's Paltrinieri and Romanchuk in third, so the 1, 2, 3, 4 remains as it was at 200.
And Christiansen putting in splits of 29.3, 29.2. So question is, can he hold on to this speed? Because I already told you, he will be very fast in the closing 50 meters. So it would be Romanchuk and Velbrock.
And as I recall, a Norwegian medal this week.
Well, he did medal in the 400 meters, winning the silver.
I'm sorry, yes. It seems like a long time ago. But,
yeah, that was in the first day.
Yeah, exactly. He was right back on Friday. So he's the only one who has managed to get on that podium so far. He'd like to be there one more time. It will be 350 this time. We're approaching halfway in the 800 meters freestyle for men. Our leader is still the same. It's Christiansen. Second place now, there's Romanchuk, who's changed places with Paltrinieri, and in fact they're joint third with Velbrock at the moment, so 2 to 3. Negligible distance, but Christiansen is swimming it the hard way, and maybe the right way from his point of view, going from the front.
Okay, Paltrinieri a little bit dropping behind, but expect something to change after the halfway mark. Maybe Romanchuk to get closer to Christiansen, maybe Velbrock to break away. But this is where things tend to change after the halfway mark.
Look at the moment of Romanchuk. It's very strong indeed. Be in and around the championship record, the way things are looking. They're on championship record pace, but they don't falter. But also, Velbrock on the far side has suddenly started to really get into his motion.
Now look at that, Romanchuk pulling away from Paltrinieri and the rest of the field. So, yes, it was him who decided to go a little bit faster after the 400-meter mark.
Velbrock's gone with him. That's the interesting thing. We're just looking on the far side of the pool now again, how much he's aware of that, because he's 3 lanes up. I don't quite know, but at the moment he's trying to track him all the way. Paltrinieri's not going to let him go. He's right on his feet at the moment.
With Christiansen fading away, dropping back to 4th position.
So at 500, Romanchuk from Paltrinieri, from Velbrock, from Christiansen, who I think his race is pretty much run in terms of the top 3 anyway. But the top 4 look like they're going to be competing for the 3. I can't see anybody else getting into the mix now, so we've got 4 going for 3 medals.
Actually, I think we should drop Christiansen because the very strong first 200 or 300 meters must have taken its toll. He's already way behind.
Romanchuk with lead of about 3/4 of a second.
Right now, the fastest in the field is, guess what? Vittorio Paltrinieri, the great champion, fighting his way back.
Now, how close can he get? Still pretty much on the feet. He's got to the front yet. He's getting kind of there now. For Romanchuk, lead is 3/4 of a second still, hasn't really changed. Velbrock is about a second behind. And perhaps Mika is going to make a move. Has he got long enough to make a move? That's the question. He's got 150 meters, so if he's going to go, he's going to have to go pretty soon.
Now it seems that it's going to be between Romanchuk and Paltrinieri, just as expected on the 1500 meters, where Florian Velbrock just scored the party.
Caps down to 0.61, so he's taking about 14/100ths outside that 50. I think he's just biding his time. I think he's just waiting, but he hasn't got long to wait because there's a few people waiting to be campanologists down below us. Bit of bell ringing about to happen. Romanchuk will hear his first. Paltrinieri right now, and in fact, if anything, Christiansen's just had a bit of a spurt up into 4th place. Is he going to put pressure on Velbrook for 3rd? 1 and 2. I think it's Romanchuk. I can't see Paltrinieri catching him now.
It is more than a body length, the advantage of the Ukrainian, who wanted to make the triple, winning the 400, 800, 1500 meters. He missed out on the gold of the 1500 meters by a very, very little margin. But this time, he will manage to win gold once again here in Glasgow.
Oh, Paltrinieri was trying to make it 3 in a row. He won in Berlin, he won in London. It's not going to be a hat-trick of victories because Romanchuk has got this. Paltrinieri's trying everything he knows and every single nerve and fibre. Do you know what? Velbrock's coming back very, very late. Probably too late to overtake the Italian. It's going to be tighter than it should have been, maybe, but the Italian will hold on for second. Our winner, however, it's 2 golds individually for Romanchuk. 7:42.96. So we don't quite see the championship record go, but he is absolutely thrilled with that. And not surprisingly, Paltrinieri, followed by Velbrook, and Christiansen got himself back up into 4th place. Yeah, we need some water left in there, please, sir. Thank you. Some more people have got to swim yet.
Huge personal best for Mikhailo Romanchuk, and a well-deserved win for the Ukrainian. He made his move at the halfway mark, so a very, very good tactics by him. He followed the tactics, and it was an easy win in the end, winning by more than 2 full seconds ahead of Paltrinieri.
Fastest time in the world in 2018 too, beating that of Zane Groff at the 7:44 in Irvine just last week.
And actually Romanchuk just missing out on the championship record by 0.6 seconds. So if you remember, he was way behind the splits of the championship record of Paltrinieri from 2 years ago. So he was very fast closing 200 meters for Mikhailo Romanchuk.
He's been watching Adam Peaty with his celebration, hasn't he? 7:42, play 7:45. So again, the top 4 were separated by about 4 seconds, but couldn't quite get a blanket all over them. And poor old Marin Mogic had by far his best swim in terms of position, anyway, in the heats, though he did not. 800 freestyle for men, first event of the day. And Sven Folbig then will present medals, helped by David McDonald of Glasgow City Council. And the bronze medal will go the way of the German Florian Velbrock. Well, I thought he might be in the mix. He's obviously in the mix for the medals, but never pushed for 1 or 2 really in the race. Certainly from first couple of 100 meters onwards. But he's got his medal, and more importantly, he's got his seat. That's 7:45. Good time for him. They're a very tight community, the 800 freestylers. Endurance men. And there is the defending champion, not defending his title. Mario Paltrinieri just didn't quite have enough either in the 15 or in the 8 in the end, because there was a man who was quicker in the 4 and in the 8. Mikhailo Romanchuk. What a week for Ukraine, what a week particularly for him. And swam a very, very classy race for the best time in the world this year. Thought they had the #1 time, but they don't anymore. Belongs to a man from Ukraine. There he is. And looking forward to hearing his national anthem, which is up next for Mikhailo Romanchuk of Ukraine. It is a week he will remember for quite some time. Karol Romanchuk, best over 8 lengths, best over 16.
You know what? We had a chat the other day about the 800 meter added to the Olympic program. Mikhailo Romanchuk, Patrinieri, Wellbrook, these 3 gentlemen were on the podium after the 1500 meters. So pretty much the same field. Actually, 7 out of the 8 finalists in the 800 meter made it to the 1500. So almost always the same field.
But we've got 2 years and things may change.
Or may not.
Well, you're right. Probably more likely not. But you've got 2 years where people might start to go, well, hang on, there's now not 3 medals, there's 6 medals we can go for here. There's 2 different events. If you're not going to go open water, and it might just stop a few people going to open water with the 1500s. People who think, okay, 1500 doesn't really suit me, 800 doesn't suit me, but open water does. 1500 is that interim distance that might suit a few more people.
Yes, I know. I just still don't see anyone emerging in the following 2 years to be 800 meter specialist or a 1500 meter specialist among women.
Well, let's revisit that. When I'm in a home in 4 years' time, you come and visit me. We'll talk about that. Yeah. After we have Tokyo out of the way and the next Europeans after that happens. But, yeah, I know. I'd rather see the splits in there, the sprints in there as well, to be honest. But as we have discussed at length, ad nauseum, it's not going to.